it turns into a business, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, see, he can do his racing because his shop that he's got, he builds them for other people too. And thereby, the income that he makes off of that, I'm sure subsidize his ability to race his own bike.
Well, if he's good at it, that's the only way he probably can do it, is by trying to make something off of it.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty
Victoria,
good.
this is Todd. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Our last meeting, my internet was a train wreck.
Oh man.
So I literally I unplugged and replugged everything in my house and just started everything over. So anyway,
Sounds
hopefully.
good.
Okay.
You gotta
good.
pay that bill sometime, Todd.
I know, right? So I honestly, I couldn't even participate in the last meeting. It was just, I was in and out over and over. So anyway.
You're sounding loud and clear, Todd.
Good deal. I thought surely if they can get internet in North Wilkesboro, we can get it up here, Robert.
Oh yeah, well we pipe ours in. I guess you knew that.
Do we have a quorum yet?
That's what I've been counting, and I'm thinking not quite, but getting close.
I think we just got 14. Let me recount.
That's what I counted.
Two more must have signed on because I had 12.
Hey Nick, you know Thomas and I know David.
Yeah, we have 14. You probably can't see Tom and Bill, maybe. They're on via phone. But we're good to go. We're live on YouTube. I'll leave it open in case a few more sign on, but otherwise we have quorum. Chairwoman James, if you want to do roll call.
Okay. I saw Paul Robinson. I didn't have him marked, so okay. I'll go ahead with the roll call. Dennis Aldridge.
Present.
Gary Blevins.
He's waiting on a Zoom link. I'm sorry. He will be on.
Oh, okay. Jim Blevins. Renee Brantz. Wes Brinegar. Rocky Buchanan.
I'm here.
Teresa Coletta. She's not here. Larry Fontaine.
Here.
Vern Grindstaff. Tom Hartman.
Here.
And then I'm here. Gunther Yokel's not here. Robert Johnson.
Here.
Mark Johnston. Brenda Lyerly.
Here.
Doug Matheson.
Here.
Tom McNeil.
Here.
Kelly Malang. Bill Osborne.
Here.
Johnny Riddle.
Here.
Paul Robinson. Paul, I thought.
Here.
Yeah,
Okay. Sandra Simmons. Andrew Suits. Larry Turnbow.
Here.
Seth Fines.
Here.
Joel Whitley. Eddie Yarber.
And I think Gary is on now. Gary, are you here?
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Thank you.
My link didn't work. I'm sorry, but I'm here. Yeah. Present.
Okay. Thank you. Good deal. All right. Guys, I will call the meeting to order and I'll ask Chuck Vines if he'll lead us in prayer.
Okay, bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight giving you thanks for the many blessings you share with us. We ask that you lead, guide, and direct us in this meeting we have tonight. I ask you to be with all of those that are present tonight and all those that are not present tonight. Father, mostly I ask you to be with all these that are sick with this virus, and whatever way you can comfort them, please do that. Father, we come now to give you thanks and thank you the most for your Son, Jesus Christ, because it is through his name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right. If you'll stand and we'll do the pledge right quick. Attention. Salute. Pledge. I pledge
Allegiance
to
to the flag
Of the
the
of the United States of America,
to
to the
Republic
for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation under
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with liberty and justice
for all.
for all.
Thank you.
Salute.
And now we'll have consideration for the October 2020 minutes.
This is Chuck, motion to approve.
This is Robert, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, I'll do a roll call for votes. Dennis,
Aye.
Gary,
Yes.
Rocky,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes. Which
Tom.
Larry?
Whoops, sorry, Larry Fontaine. I'm sorry, alphabetical.
Yes.
Tom Hartman,
Yes.
Robert. Let's see, Robert. Never mind. Brenda,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Bill Osborne,
Yes.
Johnny,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and Larry Turnbow.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So motion carries on that action. And next up, we have financial matters with Ms. Julie Page.
Julie, you're muted.
Sorry. Good night. Okay. These financial highlights are as of October 31st, 2020. And basically, what you've got is just a comparison of where we are year to date at the bottom. We're still in the process of completing our 2020 audit. So I still have the numbers that have been audited for 2019. 2021, based on the increase in our budget, as we discussed at each meeting, you know, our general fund balance as general fund expenditures is 16.71% projection. Our unassigned fund balance is 13.79, but we will not know whether we actually hit that true decrease until we do the audit in 2021. Then, of course, we'll put the corrective action plan in place if we need to get it back up to 16%. So then the revenues, as you can see for October, we actually have an increase of revenues of 78,000 more than what the expenditures are. So we just have a different inflow, outflow of the way that our revenues and our expenditures hit when we're kind of closing out our fiscal year. Then cash balance, our operating account has 307,207. Our capital management trust account has 1,150,191. So our true cash balance is 1,457,398. So one of the things that I kind of wanted to update the board on is we normally would have our audit completed by now. We always try to make sure it's completed by October 31st, but because of all of the issues and because TPSA, who is performing our audit, they are having to complete audits for local governments that are using debt service in fiscal year 2021, because in order to issue debt service in 2021, their audit has to be completed by October 31st. So we've kind of been put on I guess you can call it the back burner. So one of the things is we put everything, all of the department heads have provided what I need. I've got everything that they've requested up on the site. And I've got a few interactions with them. So hopefully they'll have our audit completed by the end of December. And then they have to have it completed by the end of January 31st. It got extended this year. But there are no plans for them to be on site, but hopefully they will start being a lot more progressive about moving forward with getting our audit complete. But that's really kind of all that I have to update you guys on, is that, you know, we're running business as usual, but I will be glad once we can get the audit complete so that we can get that presented to the board. If anybody has any questions, please let me know.
Julie, this is Larry Turnbow. I understand the audit completion date's been extended, but if they do not meet that extension date, is that on us or them?
It will be on them.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes, it will be on them. And I feel pretty confident that TPSA, they've been doing our audit for a few years. I feel very confident that they will get it completed on time. Yes, sir.
Does anyone else have any questions for Julie Page? If not, we need action on the financial highlights.
Motion to approve, Madam Chair. This is Robert.
Okay.
Larry Turnbow, I second.
Okay. All right. And I'll go through the list for everyone's vote. Dennis.
Yes.
Gary.
Yes.
Rocky.
Yes.
Larry Fontaine.
Yes.
Tom Hartman. Tom, can you hear us?
Tom Hartman, yes.
Okay. Brenda.
Yes.
Doug Matheson.
Yes.
Todd McNeil.
Yes.
Bill Osborne.
Yes.
Johnny.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
You're cutting out. You're cutting out.
Okay. I was calling for your vote.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. But your vote's, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that motion also carries, and the financial highlights for October 31st, 2020 are approved. Thank you very much. Next up, let's have an update on the FCSP program. We have Amber Chapman, the Family Caregiver and Health Promotion Specialist, and Sarah Price, the Special Projects Coordinator.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to see everyone's faces. Thank you for giving us some time to speak. I'm just going to kind of talk about the program briefly and COVID. So pre-COVID, we were going out to homes and having one-on-one conversations with people about the needs that they may have. And unfortunately, since COVID hit, we've been unable to do that. But we've also kept in contact by telephone, FaceTime, Zoom meetings like this one with our caregivers to ensure that they're being taken care of. We've also started a couple programs since March. We have a Caregiver Academy, which we partnered with Appalachian State, and that averages about 18 to 20 people per session. And we have multiple topics. This week, we're doing how to cope with the holidays when you're a caregiver. We had a Medicaid versus Medicare, and there's been a lot of support from the community. So we're hoping to be able to keep doing that program. We also did a music therapy support group. We partnered with a board certified music therapist, and we partnered with him, and he had about 5 people in that class, and they loved it. We just got some great responses back, one of which I'd like to share with you. It says, "I really thought that he did a great job conducting the program and making the whole thing feel like old friends were getting together to enjoy some of their favorite music." So that was really heartwarming. I'm hoping that he will continue to do those programs with us, at least on a contractual basis. So keep your ears out for that. And thank you, Victoria, for sharing this infographic. This was from the past year. So we had 6,320 caregivers through information and assistance in the past year. So that could be sending out newsletters, answering phone calls, events that we may have done. And this is a little bit dated. We have more than 43 active clients now. We probably have about 59. 199 respite hours were provided to caregivers in the past year. 20 caregivers were served through supplemental services like home repairs, incontinence supplies, liquid nutrition, and that number has gone up. 15 home assessments. I wish that I could go out to the home again to see people. Hopefully I will sometime in the future. But those are really helpful. We would go through and talk to them about fall risk and things like that. And I will let Sarah talk some about the Grandparents Raising Grandchildren program, which we're just now starting to get off of the ground. We also sent out a survey for caregivers of older adults, and we had some great response from that. A lot of the needs that were presented to us were things with technology, since we live in a technologically savvy world, and unfortunately some people don't have access to internet, or they don't have a computer or things like that. So we're going to sift through those and see what we can do to help people. And if anybody has any questions, I can answer those at the end. Sarah?
Thanks, Amber. I really appreciate it. Hi, it's really nice to meet all of you guys and join you guys tonight. My name is Sarah Price, and I just joined the AAA at the beginning of September. And I'm specifically working on the Grandparents Raising Grandchildren program. So we didn't really exactly know, what the service delivery options were going to be for this program. So I'm going to share a little bit about a regional needs assessment. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay. So hopefully that worked. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay. So we sent out this survey. We had about 100 responses. We sent it out to nonprofits, school district employees, public agencies, and we were really happy with the response that we got. This is included in the little infographic that I had shared with Victoria that she shared with you guys. But this question here was just gauging the response throughout the region. Since we do cover 7 counties, we did want to make sure that we didn't have too hefty of a response from, some of our larger counties, Watauga or Wilkes County. We did have the predominant responses from those 2 counties, but we were pretty happy with overall the, variety of feedback that we got from each county. This question here was mainly used to help gauge service delivery throughout the region. So we had kind of 3 main responses that came back as, most people had said were a concern, those being childcare and respite hours, technology education, which we believe, especially now that children are dealing with some level of virtual schooling, has been a heightened concern throughout the region. And then as well as access to resources. So that'd be things like clothing or school supplies and things like that. We're currently in the process of using these responses to shape our service delivery model for the GRG program. And we did have a fill in the blank option in case there were any concerns that we weren't anticipating. So a few of the other responses that we got were assistance with food or grocery bills, assistance with utility bills, or paying for school-related expenses like pictures, or maybe even parenting classes. So those were kind of some interesting responses we weren't expecting. This question, we mainly just wanted to make sure that we didn't have too many responses of just people responding with knowledge based on from a professional capacity. Overall, we're pretty excited, about an 80-20 split. So the personal responses, that would be whether or not somebody is a caregiver or they, have a close friend or a family member that is a caregiver. And then a few of just the regional differences, because we do cover 7 counties, we know that Allegheny County up by Virginia or Yancey County all the way down by Asheville, there are some regional differences. So just wanted to highlight just a couple key points. For instance, like Allegheny County, we weren't really expecting such a high response for information and assistance for community resources. So that may indicate that we need working on connecting people in that county, in Allegheny County, to resources that already exist. Another interesting response was Ashe and Avery County. 100% of responses from both of those counties highlighted tutoring assistance as a need. So that's something that we're working to kind of think through as to how we might be able to help with that. And another example would be Watauga County. Over 88% of respondents from Watauga County identified childcare/respite hours as a need, which was about 20% higher than the regional average. And then just switching gears a little bit, at the AAA, we know how important family caregivers are. And nationally, November happens to be National Family Caregiver Month. So we just wanted to kind of just highlight a couple key points, because this month is set aside to celebrate and honor all of the family caregivers and everything that they do, throughout the U.S. and in North Carolina too. So throughout the U.S., we know that it's kind of difficult to actually value what family caregivers do. We do know that they provide the foundation for our long-term care in the U.S., and it's estimated they contribute about $375 billion a year in services. Most of that is unpaid work. We do know that the majority of caregivers, about 2/3, are women. More than 37% of family caregivers are caring for children under 18 years old. In North Carolina specifically, almost 10% of children are being cared for by an older adult relative. So that would specifically impact the GRG program. And then also over 83% of caregivers are caring for a relative, and about a quarter of those actually live in the home with their care recipient. And then this year, there is a theme each year for National Family Caregiver Month. So this year is caregiving in crisis. So we know that even prior to COVID-19, that family caregivers struggled with managing care plans for loved ones or even combating social isolation. And we have recognized that with this global pandemic, that all of these struggles have only been amplified. This is just a very brief overview. I highly recommend that you guys visit the Caregiver Action Network website. And I put the URL at the bottom. They have a lot of really cool resources, and they go a little bit more in depth with the theme caregiving in crisis for the month. And that is it. I will stop my screen sharing. If any of you guys have any questions for Amber and I, please let us know.
Okay, thank you, ladies. That was a very good report. We appreciate that. Does anyone have any questions for either of these two ladies? Well, thank you both very much. We appreciate the information.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up we have Keith Devereaux, Workforce Development Board updates.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you again tonight. Hope everyone is continuing to stay safe and healthy during the COVID-19 pandemic. Want to give you a brief update on the High Country Workforce Development Board tonight, starting off with our unemployment rates. For the High Country region, currently the unemployment rate is 5.4%. Previously, it was 5.2%. For the state of North Carolina, the current unemployment rate is 7%. Previously, it was 6.8%. And for the United States, the unemployment rate is 7.7%. Previously, it was 8.5% last month. For county, currently their unemployment rate is 5.1%. Previous unemployment rate was 5%. For Mitchell County, the current unemployment rate is 6.8%. Previously, it was 6.4%. For Yancey County, the unemployment rate is currently 5.7%, and previously it was 5.6%. For Ashe County, the unemployment rate currently is 5.1%, and previously it was 5%. For Allegheny County, the current unemployment rate is 6.3%. Previously, it was 6%. And for Watauga County, the current unemployment rate is 4.6%, and previously it was 4.6%. It stayed constant. There was no change. And Wilkes County, currently the unemployment rate is 5.9%. Previously it was 5.6%. So there was a trend that there was an uptick in unemployment a little bit, as you can see from those numbers. Don't know where that came into. It could be that, you know, more people were reporting or more, so it could have been where some lost jobs or became dislocated. So that is the unemployment rates for the region. As you will see, I've included the regional market overview update for you to read at your leisure. Also, I won't read the rest of it. I have included the unemployment insurance claims for each county that you can refer to, as well as other unemployment data claims from the dashboard. So that's some information and graphs that you can read at your leisure. And if you have some questions, you can get in contact with me. One thing I do want to hope that you have looked at is in the recognition. I don't know if they've been printed or not, but I wanted, and it's not included in the slideshow, but I wanted to give you the workforce numbers, workforce by the numbers for the period of July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2020. And they were very impressive numbers. For the high country employers served by the NC Work System, we served 765 employers. And by service, that means helping them post jobs, posting job vacancies for them, helping them sort through their employment application pools, things of that nature. Also, that is also helping them hold hiring events. Another workforce number I want to tell you about is that the services provided to the high country employers through the NC Work System, the actual services that we provided to employers, we provided 5,737 workforce services to employers. We posted 2,235 local jobs on the NC Works online system. The NC Work staff and Career Center staff, they referred 5,086 people received referrals for posted jobs on the NC Work system. NC Works Career Centers in our region, in our 7-county region, held 83 hiring events. So that is good in itself because we held those hiring events to let people, job seekers, know that there were jobs, and also that helped the employers find talent that they needed. There were 87 individuals that completed the Working Smart training, and through a joint venture with Goodwill Industries of the Northwest, 49 individuals were certified in the Guest Service Professional American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute, and 99 local community college students received help with financial emergencies through our Finish Line grant. So for that period from July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2020, the average unemployment rate for that year was 5.22%, and our largest training sector continues to be healthcare. We received work-based learning and enhancement grants for on-the-job training and work experiences, and our incumbent worker grants. And that concludes my High Country Workforce update. If there's any questions at this time. I do want to let you guys know that we are still providing services. We're doing them remotely and virtually, as well as people can make appointments to come into the center. We're doing it by appointments to sort of limit the amount of people that we will have in the center to be safe and healthy during the COVID pandemic. But if we do not have any appointments and people walk up and knock on the door. They are seen by appointments and provided services. We're seeing more people coming in to the center. Still, as you guys see when you're riding around town, you are probably still seeing that businesses are still having the help wanted sign and hiring and all that. That still continues to be an issue. I think what a lot of people and what we're running into and hearing is that still people are not quite comfortable to go back into the workforce with the COVID-19 pandemic. So we are seeing where there's still employers have jobs but can't fill them. That seems to be what is driving that trend right there. And that concludes my report for tonight, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Keith. Does anyone have any questions for Keith? Okay, thank you. Next up, we have SEDS update with Phil True, and this one will require action. So it's all yours, Phil.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Victoria's got the SEDS update on the screen. You should have gotten it in your agenda packets. We have typically or historically done this report in December, and they've up till now always been called annual performance reports. EDA changed their requirements, so now it's a SEDS update, and we're doing it a month earlier. Very similar content though as we've had in previous years. Second page has a little introduction. What's noteworthy there is we are still using the High Country Workforce Development Board as our SEDS committee. EDA requirements dictate that a SEDS has to be developed under the supervision of a SEDS committee. And Workforce Development Board's been doing that for over 10 years now. Midway through that page, COVID-19 impacts, that's new for this year, obviously. I have just listed a few of the economic development focused impacts of COVID, and the bottom of the page starts out with grant funding programs that are specific to economic development for COVID relief. Top of the third page, that last funding program is the CDBG COVID program run through State Department of Commerce. Our staff worked on 4 of those applications over the past couple of months. Next section, report on economic development activities. It's not an exhaustive list, and it's not necessarily efforts that have been led by High Country COG staff or that we've even had a hand in, but it's major economic development activities in the region over the past year. Not coincidentally, there's something in all 7 of our counties. Bottom of the page starts the list. It's more focused on activities that planning and development staff have worked on over the year. Again, it's major projects we've worked on, but not an exhaustive list. It's very similar to the list that we present to EDA in our semi-annual reporting. As a refresher, EDA gives us $70,000 a year to help us fund our planning and development program. We report on that activities and expenditures semi-annually. So this list starting at the middle of page 3 is basically what I report to EDA on to justify their funding for our program. And it continues into about the middle of the 4th page. So evaluation of progress and action plans and goals. Again, the SEDS covers economic development in our region, not necessarily just what the Council of Governments works on. So these goals and my example projects don't necessarily reflect what we've worked on. And again, it's not exhaustive. It's just I try to, for EDA's reporting purposes, list one item in each of those goals. Top page 5 is just our performance metrics we put in the SEDS. back in 2016. We try to report on those. So middle of the page, I've got there the 107 new jobs and $88 million in private investment last year. That's hard data to get. That number comes from projects that have just gone through the Economic Development Partnership in North Carolina. So there are a lot of small business investment, job creation that's not captured here. That is perennially been a problem for me to try to gather accurate data in that regard. But we report what we can obtain. Following that sentence, I've got some figures or impacts on the economy based on the COVID as a result of the COVID impact. Just some statewide numbers about the drop in employment activity. Following that, on the next 2 pages, I've got data that's specific to our region. From Department of Commerce, as Keith has been given in his workforce reports every month, unemployment stats. This just gives you the whole region's unemployment figures going back to January 19th to kind of put it in perspective. You can see that obvious spike in April and May of this year, but we've bounced back pretty good. So currently, we're within each county is within about 2 percentage points of where we were in September 2019. Next page is data that's current that I can gather to try to get a real-time feel for the economic condition of the region. Taxable sales broken out by county. Again, going back to January 19. So we can compare year to year and put it in perspective. COVID impacts, again, obvious this summer, but surprisingly in July and August of this year, all the counties' taxable sales were up from July and August of 2020. In June 2020, Watauga and Avery had not bounced back. I think that's reflective of those 2 counties' reliance on the tourist and service sector segments of the economy. And then table below that just shows economic impact of tourism. Doesn't reflect year 2020. It'll be interesting to see how that comes out. But this data lags. In the last annual performance report, I had 2018 data. So I wanted to put this 2019 data, and every county's got an increase from 2018. So up until the pandemic hit, we were really on a good upward trajectory of economic impact from tourism in the region. Not surprising. The last page is schedule of goals for next year. We will be doing a 5-year rewrite of the SEDS. I'll begin that in January with the aim of being done in June. I've already presented to the Workforce Development Board, and they are anticipating me presenting that to them this coming spring, and ask for a recommendation for you all on the full SEDS rewrite. The other big goal we'll work on next year is direct technical assistance to the local governments to onto the COVID impacts on the economy from COVID. So that's the report. Glad to answer any questions. Again, following any questions and answers, I'll be looking for a approval from the board of this report. So any questions?
Comment, Phil, just another excellent report you put together for us, and be my honor to make the motion that we adopt this report. This Chuck.
Yeah, I'll second it.
This is Johnny Riddle. I'll second that motion.
We got two now.
Oh, okay.
Brenda beat you, Johnny.
Okay.
Brenda, did say she? Okay. So I heard Chuck make the motion. Brenda seconded. So I'll go down the list and get everybody's vote. Let's see here. Dennis Aldridge. You still with us, Dennis?
Dennis, you're muted.
Said definitely aye for anybody that can handle that much data and put it in a concise form.
Okay. Gary.
Oh, I've always been a big fan of the SEDS.
Boy.
I've probably brought it up more than anybody on the board.
Yes, you have.
And it's something we need to do on a regular basis to make sure that we follow all the provisions of the requirements. So that being said, I'm 100% in favor.
Okay, sir. We thank you. Rocky.
Yes.
Larry Fontaine.
Yes.
Tom Hartman.
Yes.
Robert John.
Yes.
Doug Matheson.
Yes.
Todd McNeil.
Yes.
Bill Osborne.
Yes.
Johnny Riddle.
I'm not going to go into as much detail as Gary Belevins, but I'm just going to say yes.
Okay. Paul Robinson. Paul, are you still with?
Yes.
Okay, honey. And Chuck Vines. No, Chuck, never mind. You made the motion. Sorry. Larry Turnbow.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Thank you, guys. So that motion will carry. Thank you, Phil, for your report. It was very informative, and your motion has been approved.
Thank you. I'll submit the report to EDA.
Hey, this is Chuck. I'm going to use the words that drawn a blank. Well, anyway, that Gary's used for years. How about that SEDS?
That's it, Chuck. How about that SEDS?
There you go, bud.
Good job, Phil. You're an awesome guy.
Thank you.
Okay, then it looks like next up is Miss Julie Wiggins with the report from the Advisory Committee and Executive Director.
Great. Well, good evening, everyone. It's good to see you all. Just a few updates here. Wanted to start by saying a big thank you to the Charter Review Committee, and in no particular order, Commissioner Riddle, Commissioner Aldridge, Mayor Fontaine, Mayor Vines, Mayor Johnson, Mayor James, Jeff Hedrick. Big thank you all to the time and effort that you put into reviewing the charter. I guess just a kind of a quick backstory, the full document had not been revised since it was originally adopted in 1974, but we with the help of the committee found some amendments that were made along the way. So the committee put in a lot of time and effort to review and to update terminology, or the executive committee, as we've discussed that as a full board in the past, it is referenced. It doesn't really exist in that form anymore. So that being said, in discussion with the committee and the advisory committee, I will send out prior to the next meeting the red line document of the discussed changes for you all to review. And the process of actually amending the charter consists of all the local governments adopting a resolution individually. And we have to have at least 2/3 of the individual local governments adopt the resolution to accept the proposed changes. In addition, there were a few little relatively minor changes to the bylaws that were discussed. So that'll be a part of the documents for review. And to amend the bylaws is just a vote with the executive board. So that's a little bit easier to adopt and change. So be on the lookout for that document. or really both documents prior to December. It'll also be in your December packet. I just want to make sure that you all have ample time to review so that we can discuss in December. I've got a couple more items, but I just wanted to stop and see if there were any questions about the charter specifically. Great. So you all received the recognition by email. Big thanks to Victoria for putting that together. It had been a full year. We skipped the spring because of COVID to give everybody a break from everything else that was going on at the time. So big thanks to Victoria for putting all that information together, and a really big thanks to you all for the excellent articles that were submitted. I told the advisory committee I really enjoyed reading all of the articles and seeing all the really great things that are going on in the region. It's such a good way to showcase the projects and the things that y'all have going on. So if you want to see that on our website, Victoria's got it uploaded on our website. If you didn't get the email or can't find the email for some reason, it's on our website. And if you want a hard copy, then let us know that too. We can mail you a hard copy or multiple hard copies, or if you're in the area, you can stop by and pick those up. And the last item I wanted to just kind of put on y'all's radar is that we're in really, really earliest discussions of having a virtual legislative day, kind of a similar structure like we did in February of this year, but talking about doing that virtually. We'll have some new representatives at the state level, and so it'll be a good opportunity to keep the conversation going of what's going on in the state and what is going on in the region as it relates to the COG and otherwise. So that's all I have, unless y'all have any questions for me. All right, thanks.
That was a quick report, Julie.
I spared y'all tonight.
Okay, do we have any board member comments? Everybody's wanting to get out of here. Oh, no board member comments. Under chairwoman comments, I have a special recognition that I need to do. I hate that we can't in person. A board member that has been with us for several years, and tonight is his last regular meeting, but we're making him come back in December, which we hope we can meet together or something. But Gary Blevins, from what we can tell, I'm still kind of iffy on this, but we think it's been 14 years of service. Does that sound right, Gary?
I lost count, but it's been right in that 12 years as a commissioner and at least a couple of years on the town council. So
okay,
I'd say that's pretty close, Valerie.
Okay, because I was thinking this is like right now is my 15th year, and I know you were there when I came, so I was like, you'd been there. I was thinking you'd been there 15 years, but
that may be true.
They found record of 14, so I think
that's fine.
When your plaque gets here, I think it's going to show 15. But anyhow,
yeah. So this is just a mock-up of what the plaques will look like. We'll get them to you as soon as we can.
Well,
but we want to recognize you tonight and thank you for your years of service. And you will be terribly missed. Believe it. Yes, we will terribly miss you. You'll have to keep in touch and come visit and stuff. And what's going on? Bigger and better in mind, and we'll be right behind you if you do.
I appreciate it.
We are very, very thankful for the years of service you've given to the COG, and we hope things will be great for what you maybe aspire to do next or whatever. We just wanted to congratulate you for that tenure with the COG. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
You are very, very welcome. Wish we could do it in person. I'm sorry. But yeah, giving a round of applause.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a real honor and a pleasure, and it's been one of my favorite things of being an elected official is being part of High Country. Made a lot of great friends, and I'll miss the meetings, but I will still be there in spirit. I promise you all.
Well, we will certainly miss you. That's for sure. Okay. I don't think I have any other comments. Does anybody have any other business or?
Chairwoman James, will you also present Robert since we're not?
Okay. I didn't know who else I needed to do.
Yes.
Robert, 15 years, right?
So 15, and he's going into the Hall of Fame on the wall.
Oh boy. Okay, Mr. Robert.
All right, Robert.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Robert,
The Hall of Fame.
I didn't know you were leaving, Robert.
I'm not leaving.
He's not leaving. He's
He just got 15
I'm
years.
just
Okay, gotcha.
He gets to go to the Wall of Fame.
Gotcha. Okay.
No, I'm going to hang in there as long as I can, Brenda. I love
Good
this
for
job,
you.
and
Good for you.
I love all you folks up there. You do such a great job. We all do together, and I do come up for re-election next year, and Lord willing, health-wise, I will be running for office again, and hopefully I'll be able to serve as the mayor of North Wilkesboro again, and Lord willing, I'll be right up there with you folks, and I just appreciate everything. Kind of echo what Gary had to say. It's one of the best, I've said it before, best boards I've ever served on, and a great group of people that just does not just for one county, but they do it for the whole group, the whole counties all over. So thank you very much for the recognition. And I don't know about this Wall of Fame or Hall of Fame thing, but I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
Well, you'll be joining a big, nice wall of people there.
There's a special group up there, and that's
there sure is.
Yeah.
You'll be joining them. We're honored to have you up there, and we appreciate your years of service too.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to two of our finest from Wilkes County.
Thank
And
you,
Chairwoman James, Todd McNeil has something to say
Yes,
now.
I'm here. Valerie, if I might jump in,
Go right ahead.
it's a big honor for me serving as vice chair, that I get to recognize your 15 years of service, and you're going to get a spot on the wall right next to Robert.
There you
go. And anyway, and I can't think of anybody more deserving than you. I know you've been so kind to me since I came along, and you deserve a round of applause and just as much recognition as these two knuckleheads from Wilkes County do.
Well, thank you. I have I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Made a lot of friends, and I'm kind of like Robert. I'll be up for election next year, and I'm torn between, because if I run again, and well, I've never had any. I only had opposition the first time I ran, and I'm like, okay, do I want to keep this up? And if I ran again, it would be, I will have been mayor for 20 years if I got another term, and I'm like, oh boy, do I want to do that? So I'm out, and mine's going to be, kind of my, how things are with my mom and all that kind of stuff. So I could be there 4 more years after next year, but we'll see.
Well, Valerie,
Valerie,
I think that
to work with, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun and stuff. So hopefully we'll do more fun things, and maybe all this mess will get better, and we can be back together as I mean, you guys are like family to me. It's just amazing. So I appreciate it very much.
Well, Valerie, the fact that you have served that long and ran that many times unopposed speaks volumes to the job that you're doing over there, and people's opinion of you in the community. And I commend you for it. It's no small thing to put your name on that ballot. Everybody in this meeting knows that and understands that, but to do it for that many years unopposed, you're knocking it out of the park.
Well, it's a small town, and I guess there's nobody else that really wants the job. I don't know.
Oh, no.
It's kind of sad.
Todd, thanks for those uplifting comments, brother.
But I appreciate you very much.
And
And I have a good bunch to work with. I've had some doozies of boards at times, but I've had a good bunch in the last few years or so. I've had some good people to work with. I've had some, that's for sure. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. It's been an enjoyable time, but we still got time to go. It's not over yet.
There you go.
But thank you. I appreciate that.
May I say, please, that this group, that the wall used to be called the Old Timers. Can you believe that?
Oh,
So
my goodness.
when my 15 years was up, I said, I do not want to be on the wall with the Old Timers. So they
I
changed
don't
the
blame you,
name.
Brenda.
Oh my gosh. Oh my. Yeah, there's some older people up there, aren't there, Brenda?
There are.
Oh well, we'll just keep adding stuff. We'll make it look younger. But anyhow, thank you all very much. Well, does anybody else have anything to say?
If I may, Valerie, I didn't realize this was a send-off for Gary Blevins. I just want to mention, I remember, Gary, I was working here when you started, and like any other elected official that was new to our board, really didn't know what High Country COG did, but you were genuinely invested and interested, participated in all the meetings, was a good member on the forum for us, to lobby for the relevance of the COGs at the state level. When you work on the Association of County Commissioners, you really took it serious and really helped us out. And as a staff member, when the local elected officials know what we're doing, it makes my job, my staff's job, that much easier. So thanks for what you've done.
Amen to that.
Good, Phil.
Very well said, Phil. That was he's gone above and beyond in every capacity that he's held. Well, guys, if nobody has any other business, did we have any public comments, Victoria?
We do not.
All righty. Well,
I know what time it is.
But do we want to let Gary do it tonight?
We can if he'd like to do it.
What great timing. I've got 7:59, Kenny Poteet, and several other old timers on that wall would be mighty proud of me.
Yep.
I will make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
And I second it.
I think I need to go through the list and get everybody else's vote. So what do you say we just say good night, everybody?
Good night.
Stay healthy.
Good night, everybody.
We'll see you in December. Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Stay
Good night.
safe.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Adios.
Thank you
Good
all.
night.
Gary
Thank
Blevins,
you.
I hope I see you next month.
Yes, we hope we see everybody next month. Bye.
Bye.
Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Happy
ma'am. Same to
Thanksgiving.
you.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.